Hi everyone. Today I'd like to talk a bit about dynamic posing and okay, so whenever I talk about, say, dynamic posing, I don't mean dynamic posing that is interesting and amazing and you got things flying at you and that's dynamic perspective. This is just dynamic posing where you have, say, ground, you have interaction. It's interacting, So if you want, you can have first I'll draw static objects, and I can have characters that lean up against, leaning up against this post, have the feet planted on the ground. Then I can place the arm. So it's being able to show weight in a pose and also to show interaction. Let's root that pose and let's root that pull into the ground. Right. Here's another example. Again, I'm going to keep using this pull just because it's, let's see, I'm going to place the hand against the pull, shoulder like that, and let's have this person lean way, way, way over. So I'm just thinking, okay, now I can place the head here. And I can also, once this person has kind of rooted themselves against this post, I'm just going to get the eraser out. That leg becomes a passive object, and now I can use that to place one object against the other, and there. So I guess what I'm trying to say with dynamic posing is there is a fair amount of you've got physical interactions going on. You want to show that there's weight. You want to show that things are solid, that they're interacting with the environment, and the environment is interacting with them. And it's what makes a pose convincing. I find it's not about stylization. A lot of times I'll see poses where the hands are just kind of not well, the hands are kind of just in the wrong place, or things are just looking kind of very weightless. Weightless is kind of not a good thing. Let's continue doing a few more of these. Just try to give you kind of the gist of it. Again, I always have some sort of ground because the ground's going to be the largest passive object I can have in the scene. And let's just draw a really big heavy weight. I want to draw a person carrying this heavy weight. So again, it's like I'm going to figure out which part, where are the points of contact. So I can, if I want, I can put, one of the hands, put the two hands there. I can kind of use maybe the head as kind of a third hand to kind of balance all that out. And then just take the body and squish that right up against the this big rock. And from there I can start figuring out, well, let's see, where do I want the feet to go? That's the other thing, is that the feet, if I want, I can really push things over pretty far. Right. It still looks like it's working. If anything, he looks like he's about to fall over. But at least it looks like you can kind of sense where the mass and gravity is going. Right. You can sense the forces being exerted, and that's the important thing. It's like in this case, this is kind of cool because it's not a stable state that I've drawn. He's not at rest. Let's do some more people carrying weights. These are really good. So let's keep going. Let's see if we have a person who's supporting with one hand. Let's find the ground as well and figure out, okay, so you'll notice that the ground is something that I always try to render as a three-dimensional object. It's really, I find it's a big deal. And let's see. And again, it's like I'm trying to find the body flow to show, think of a toothpick or like a broomstick, which is supporting it. And I'm showing it bending You know, again, he looks like he's about to fall over, but I kind of like it. You know, it's like, well, at least, you know, again, you've got this. You know, if anything, it's like he kind of overstepped his bounds. I'm gonna adjust this a bit. You know, he looks like he's falling backwards. You know, it's like, and he's got one leg out to try and counterbalance himself, right? So again, it's just you want to be thinking of like when you're drawing, you're not going to be drawing the character first. You're going to be drawing the thing that they're exerting weight against. So here, let's do this. This time, let's maybe not instead of. I'm going to try and render this as a three-dimensional object again. Okay, let's put a big rock on a hill. There. Now I can. Let's find out. You know, let's get some feet in there. And then try and figure out a way to try and find a way to bridge between these two things, right? And the thing is that, you know, that foot position may move. You know, it's like if it doesn't feel right, then just move it. And he's pushing it up there. Maybe what I'll do is I'm going to change the way that he interfaces with the rock again. Instead of his hands, I'll use his shoulders. Okay. So he's kind of, you know, butting the rock up, and I'll take the other hand and I'll kind of I'll cross his arms a bit. But as you can see, you know, there's this feeling of exertion and mass. And sometimes it might not work out. Like in this case, I didn't have a very clear picture of it, so I'm going to try it again. This time I'll just do it as a flat drawing instead of a 3D one. Okay. So you'll notice that I don't necessarily have one particular order of drawing things. It's something that you wind up having to figure out. I'm starting to think that maybe I need him to try and get a lower, you know, a lower point of contact on the rock. Right. So that's the thing, is that whenever you're doing any of this kind of dynamic posing, you know, you're gonna have a different pose each time. You know, it's like every single situation is gonna have a different pose. You know, if you want to do interaction between people, then you wind up having to figure out, well, okay, let's draw the parts of the people that are, let's say if a person's being punched, right? So then fine, I'll show the head, I'll show the point of contact for the fist. You know, so I know he's being punched in this direction, you know, and then I have to, let's show him kind of careening backwards. I'm kind of, you know, it's like a rag doll. I'm just kind of ragdolling him right now. And maybe what I'll do is I'm going to put one of his arms up, but, you know, it's like basically the punch slipped through his guard. And then the other arm I'll just kind of loosely dangle backwards. And then, okay, now we got the other guy here. I'm going to, with that fist in the other guy's face, I'm going to extend the shoulder and just there. That's push that other head forward. And then the other hand I'll leave out just for clarity. And maybe what I'll do is I'll have one foot kind of extending in forward, and then the other foot. Right? Or, you know, even if this is not dynamic enough for you, then hang on, why don't we try something else? Why don't we here, let's change that. So instead of the shoulders, those are now hip joints. And, you know, we can turn this whole thing into a jump kick now. Right, so I'm even going to bend the legs slightly. So it looks like there's just a little bit of room left for for him to kick off in the guy's face. Take the other arm. Okay. So that's that.